So, John, what do you think about branding and your experience? Like you've got diversified payments. You've been in other businesses, and it's changed throughout the years. Now it's a lot more social media than it was back in the old days. What have your experiences been through your life with branding and marketing?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think so many businesses lack in that area. It's a gray area for a lot of people, especially as things progress now into social media. A lot of people, we know how to get on there and scroll and do that, but when it comes to actually putting together an effective ad that's going to capture somebody's attention and get them to ultimately either click through or comment on it, which is
Mm-hmm.
the end goal, is pretty challenging on there. I think you've been doing a great job. I mean, how did you get started in the social media aspect of it?
Really, just I was a consumer. I never posted anything, and then got into the business world and into sales and all that. And I was like, I mean, this is free advertisement. So I picked that up. I started, just advertising, and I was like, I started putting things that were on my mind out there, more motivational stuff and stuff that I picked up through consuming other people's content through podcasts and books and just looking at their pages and stuff. And if I feel something, I put it out there in a post or a video, and just putting it out there. And that's the number one thing in anything I think is to take action. Like every time I get on my phone now, I have 9+ notifications.
Yeah.
From people following me, friend requests, comments, likes, all that stuff. But I put out a lot of content. So the main thing is like you're wondering why there's no notifications there. It's because you're not putting anything out.
Or nothing of value.
Right. I mean, if there's nothing out there, then there's nothing there for people to look
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
But at first, like when you get started, it sucks. I think everybody sucks when they get started. They don't know what they want to put out, and then you just kind of grow from there. And I've picked up different apps and different ways of doing things and stuff like that have helped. But I always just speak what's on my mind. And no matter what your viewpoint is, I think somebody's going to agree with it or get some value out of it.
Yeah, I can agree more. There's a big difference, right? You got your social media platform, you put a picture with your dogs running or your horses or your kids and your family. You're always going to get likes from that internal group,
Mm-hmm.
because people want to see that. It's the news today isn't the friendliest of news, right? What do they say?
Mm-hmm.
If it bleeds, it leads. So, I mean, you turn on the news, it's always how many homicides, all the bad news that's going on in the world. So, people want to see something that's uplifting, that's on there. Number one, your dogs or horses, your family, something fun that you're doing, and they're going to be receptive to giving you a like. But when it comes to the business aspect of it, and you're going to advertising, you got such a short attention span for somebody to really stay hooked on that ad and want to learn something, and the value part, I think you hit the nail on the head there. When you are putting something out there that comes from the heart, it's your feelings, it's got value that it can touch and impact somebody else. People are way more receptive. You inspired me to start kind of doing my own advertising, and I did one a couple weeks ago. The feedback was amazing. I mean, I had people like texting me on my phone, liking the ad, but then also texting me like, "Hey, that message really hit home for me," or "That was something I needed to hear."
Yeah.
So that's awesome. We go back to marketing and advertising for businesses. Like I said in the beginning, most businesses don't know where to start. They open their doors if they're a retail store, and then somebody's coming in. It used to be the yellow pages phone book. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
advertising the phone book. And that was the medium of advertising. Either you had money for a television ad commercial, or you advertise in that yellow book, and people start thumbing through that deal. I don't even know. Have you ever even seen the yellow book?
Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, I still remember the phone books. We'd have our local phone book, and then like a Waco phone book, and you could see everybody's name, and then
Yeah,
go through the
yeah.
yellow pages and have the businesses. And we used to actually do that for entertainment sometimes. If we were really bored, we get the phone book out and just read through people's names and just be like, oh, that's a funny name. And we did that for entertainment,
Yeah, you didn't prank call any of them, did you?
maybe a few times.
Yeah, I mean, that was the medium of advertising at one point. Now you open a business, and you got the cable TV coming in trying to get you advertising, radios trying to come and get you advertising and stuff. It's expensive. So a lot of businesses, they go to spending, whatever that ad cost is, a couple $1,000s, they don't get any feedback.
Mm-hmm.
No new customers came through the door. So immediately they cut it off. They're like, oh, we're just going to keep the doors open and let the customers come in the way they've been coming in forever. We've been through, all the businesses and years I've been in business. I don't know how many years, we won't put that number out there, but I've seen it all. We were kind of the founders of the annoying Press One campaign. My business partner had the lines and owned the whole system basically. So when those first started coming out, we were calling thousands of business owners with this message, whatever it was, press one to get more information. And they would press one and come on board. That's been misused and overused, over the years. So people got away from that. Direct mail has its cost too, and I love direct mail because it's still pretty cost effective, and you get you get a good turnout with it. But once again, the message has to be there. You've got to get that open rate, and everybody's getting these fake looking checks in the mail, so you're going to open it because you dang sure don't want to miss out on money that you might be getting, but as you open them, it's always a fake check and some high interest rate loan somebody's trying to give, and you throw that garbage out. But if you're able to do the marketing right, target a specific group of people, a demographic that you're looking to attract to your business, and you have the right message, the right mail piece could be super effective. But it's also trial and error, and I think when you go to social media, which you've been awesome at, I think you've been amazing between the podcast and the posts you've been doing. The feedback's been great that you've been getting from it. I've talked to a lot of people. I get calls myself just from the podcast I was on. They're like, hey, I didn't know you were famous. I heard you on the Wealthy Cowboy. So you could see the power of that. You get the eyeballs on there. It's super cost effective. And it's something that I think every business owner should be taking advantage of. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to post the ad on there. It costs you a little bit to run it, but still, for what was your ad spend recently?
Yeah, you can run paid ads, pretty cheap, and get some eyeballs for.
Would you spend $100 or so last week?
You can get a lot of people to see your stuff for $100, $50, and then obviously put it out organically and hope it takes off, where you can put money behind it and really get it to take off.
Yeah, I think, listen, it's whatever it is. If it's your business, it's your brand. You got to get the name out there. You need to get it recognized. If it's you personally, then you are the brand, and I think we're sales agents, right? And there's a lot of people that wear similar hats that we wear. Well, not this hat, but work hats as, independent contractor sales, insurance agents, what have you. A lot of those guys take for granted, you are the business, men and women both. If you're a 1099 sales rep, an independent contractor, and you're out there selling for commission, you are the business. So your brand is you. And you've got to start putting out relevant information about your product, about, people want to know who you are, right? Why am I going to do business with you, and what value are you going to bring to the table? And if you're just stuffing the same ad down their throat every single time all day, it's boring, But I think I think the right content is key, and I think that you got to stay in front of people. You got to get your brand out there to get that recognition. The familiarity builds comfort, and it allows you to pre-sell, when you are doing the marketing right. So I started Western Payments probably about 8 years ago, when I started getting really, really heavy in the rodeo space. People were going to PayPal and Square, and all of a sudden it was like the domino effect. Those accounts would get closed, the money would get held, because they were deeming, barrel racing as gambling, or team roping jackpots. You see Lucky 7 and all this stuff on the flyers. The underwriters would pull it and they deem it as gambling, so they'd shut it down. Well, people started, looking for help. Hey, where do we go? How do we get this fixed? Who can we go to that we're not going to have the problem? And it was always, hey, call this guy. So I started Western Payments. I put the brand out there. I made some patches, gave them out to a bunch of kids at some different events. And guys that I saw on the road while I was rodeoing, built the website and put the posts out there, started a YouTube page or a Facebook page, which cost me nothing. Got 10,000 members on there now. So I'm always in front of those people.
Mm-hmm.
I've become almost a household name in that industry that people say, oh, Western Payments, Western Payments, Western Payments. That's how easy it was for me to get that brand recognition. But in our community of Western sports and retailers, that name just resonates, right? Western Payments, hey, you guys got a turquoise patch and the logo on it with the horn, the
Mm-hmm.
T's, the horns or something. So it's easy to remember. And it was a real simple branding piece I did that I didn't spend any money at all.
Mm-hmm.
Cost me a couple bucks, $10 a month to have the website. I've got social media. I started the Facebook group for absolutely nothing and built that in a course of about maybe a year and a half, 2 years to 10,000 members. I mean, that's a lot of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to go ahead and put a message out, it's going to reach 10,000 people in there. At the same time, I can see who's posting in that group and reach out to them myself organically if I see something and say, hey, noticed you weren't a customer, but I see you posting through the group. I also work with X, Y, and Z companies. Can I help you out? Here's the problems we saw. So,
and they probably go to your personal profile and check you out then. And I
mm-hmm.
think that's a huge deal. Is like everybody, no matter what you do, if you're in sales or cowboy or what, like you've got to have something on there that tells what you do. Like you go to mine, it's going to show. I do a podcast. I do payments. I cowboy. I rope. I do all these things, and you're going to go through there and say, okay, I relate, or I don't relate, or whatever. I want to talk to this guy. I don't. Maybe you can help me with this. Maybe you can't. But it's kind of a quick little scroll because I do that with people. It's like I hear of somebody, or I hear of a company, or a guy that owns a company, or doing this or that. I'm going to look them up on social media, and then just a couple scrolls and
it's your resume.
Yeah.
It's the new resume. It's the resume of today. Before, you go to apply for a job, even today, right? People still send their resumes out to job, but every single employer, the first thing they're doing is going to your social media.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care what your history is on that resume. You can, make up references and have people, speak for you on your behalf. But, if you're saying, hey, this is the type of person you are, they go and look on, you're this upstanding professional executive, and then they go look on your social media and you're out there, doing keg stands over bonfires and wild, crazy stuff. And it's like there's no business, no anything that relates to you being this professional type of person. It's going to be a lot less credible. You're going to be a lot less credible. So.
And I think it's the same way with the business. It's free, so put it out. I mean, depending on how you want to scale, you can hire a marketing company, or if you want to learn it yourself, then that will be free. Or you can hire a team, that knows it and knows how to use it, and they're going to charge you something. But you either have time or money. So if you don't have any money, then just learn it yourself the hard way. Put stuff out there, see what happens, and then if you do have money and you don't have time, then there's lots of agencies. That's huge now, is digital marketing, and people will come in there, help you do the videos, all that. But the same way, people are going to say, diversified payments, what's this all about? They're going to click on that. 2 scrolls, about all you got. If they're real interested, they'll keep going, but they're going to come, whatever your business is. If you got a feed store, got whatever, they're going to come say, let me check this out. What do they got to offer?
Yeah.
And
people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So, you've got that credibility. They go to your social media and see who you are. That's, that's more comforting for them. That's the person they want to do business when they see you're somebody who stands up for, what you say you stand up for, deliver what you say you're going to deliver. I think that the other side of social media now is it's easy to learn, it takes time, but you can go on YouTube and learn. I mean, you could learn just about anything going on YouTube. And I'm challenged. I'm technically challenged. People that I meet, they're like, oh, you must have gone to school for engineering because you do all this stuff. I'm like, no, I didn't go to school. I dropped out, got kicked out, and like was not interested in being
Yeah.
there. But I've learned it all, especially as the internet. I mean, the internet's evolved so much now, and with YouTube and all these channels. I mean, you put in anything, learn how to do this, and you can learn. I mean, so much when it comes to marketing. I'm always blown away. That's like if I'm laying in bed at night or something, or just kind of have some downtime and I'm surfing around. I'm always captivated by one of these ads that shows you how to post your whole year's worth of Instagram ads, in one day. And it's all this automation. Go to Canva, create the slides, do this, so forth. So I think there's easy ways to go ahead and set schedules and do that stuff where you don't have to remember every day when we post a new ad. I can automate it, and it's easy to learn, and it's free for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to, like you said, you gotta have some brand, your personal brand, or something in there that's going to be relevant to what you're posting. If you're just posting little, emoji ads every single day, it's not going to really hold a whole lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got a mixture of, you got to have a mixture of content that's business related if you're posting about business, and you got to have some entertainment in there too. People want to see who you really are. They want to understand your product, the who, what, why, that they're going to do business with you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You definitely got to have something out there. They're gonna investigate you that way. If they just hear your name in a conversation, or you cold call them, trying to sell them something, or whatever it is, they're probably gonna look you up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever first. Um, I started on Facebook. That's my favorite platform that I use. A lot of people use Instagram a lot. And you kind of just got to be out there on all of them, really. Like I said, Facebook's where I spend most of my time, but I post on everything because you don't know what somebody else likes the most, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
reach as many people as you can. So,
You've been learning how to use a lot of the video editing stuff too. I mean,
mm-hmm.
how's that been? It seems I might cut that right there.
You want to keep going, or you got to get off?
Yeah, we'll go for like 5 more minutes if you want to just kind of cut this piece out and go to an ending on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, get out there, post, whatever platforms you have access to, all of them, preferably post pictures, post words, whatever, but just whatever you're thinking. I mean, there's people interested in it. Try to put value out there, stay positive. Um, if and at least tell people what business you're in, what you do for a living, whether you're a cowboy for a living, or an insurance salesman, or you own a feed store. I mean, people are going to want to do business with you. So let them know I need to call this guy if I need some cows gathered, or if I want to know something about roping, I'm going to call this guy, or if I need payment processing, I'm going to call this guy. You got to let them know, or they're never going to call.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.